Welcome to the Zera Shimshon in English podcast, in which we learn and explain in a clear and uncomplicated manner an excerpt from the Sefer Zera Shimshon on the Parsha. Parshas Re'eh. It is written in this week's Parsha, Aser Taseh es kol tfu zarecha. You must give a tenth of your crops, Hayotzi Asodeh Shona Shona, that comes out of your field every year. On this pasuk, the Medrash comments, if you are worthwhile, you will go out and plant your field every year. If not, then the one that goes out from the field will eventually hassle you. Who is this referring to? This is referring to Esav, like it is written, the skillful hunter, the man of the field. In other words, the reward for separating Maisa from crops is that we will be able to go out to our fields every year, plant and harvest. The punishment for not separating Maisa from the crops is that Esav, who came from the field, will disturb us. The Shimshon asks, why does the transgression of the mitzvah of separating Maisa cause that we will not be able to go out and plant our fields? And another question, why does it cause that specifically Esav is the one who will harass us? A third question, it is written in Parshas Toldos, when the boys grew up, Esav became a skillful hunter, a man of the fields, but Yaakov was a mild man who stayed in camp. Rashi explains, a skillful hunter? This literally means one that knows how to trap animals. However, it means he understood how to entrap and deceive his father with his mouth. He would ask him, Father, how do we separate Maisa from salt and straw? Although he knew that these are not subject to the laws of Maisris. Because of these questions, his father believed him to be ultra careful in keeping the mitzvahs. So Shimshon asks, why did Esav specifically fool Yitzchak with this mitzvah and not some other mitzvah? So Shimshon explains that we learn from Rashi, who explains that when Avram heard this promise that he would receive Eretz Yisrael, he built a mizbeach to show gratitude to Hashem for the wonderful gift Hashem promised him. We learned that the greatest gift that Hashem promised to Avram was that Hashem promised Eretz Yisrael to him and to his children. Hashem only promised to give Eretz Yisrael to Avram Avinu and to his descendants. And a few hundred years later, when Bnei Yisrael entered Eretz Yisrael to claim the gift, the land was not uninhabited, but the Canaanim lived there. Therefore, the nation of the world, it didn't look like the descendants of Avram, Bnei Yisrael, were claiming a gift. It looked like they were stealing the land from the Canaanim. Rashi, at the beginning of the Parshas, explains that Hashem knew the nation of the world would make such a claim. And therefore Hashem prefaced the Torah, which is really a book of laws, with Breishis Bo Elokim, in the beginning Hashem created the heaven and the earth, which is not a law, to refute this claim of the nations with the following logic. Since Hashem created the world, Hashem is its owner, and Hashem can therefore give the land to whoever he sees fit, even if someone else is living there, and the recipient is not a thief at all. Talk is cheap, like the saying goes, and therefore, in order to put into action our belief that Hashem is the owner of the land, Hashem commanded we give a tenth of the produce of a land, which is a type of property tax or rent money that we give to the owner. Simply put, the right to Eretz Yisrael depends on two things. One, to acknowledge that Hashem owns the world, and therefore Hashem has the right to give the land to whoever he wants. And two, that we give Maisa from the fruits that grow there to show that we really believe this. One who doesn't give Maisa from his produce, he is in essence declaring that he doesn't really believe that Hashem is the owner of the land, and he therefore is like a thief in someone else's land. Since his actions show that he has no right to his field, he loses the right to go out and plant your field because it's stolen. Esav wanted Yitzchak to give him the right to inherit Yisrael, so he tried to show Yitzchak how careful he was with giving Maisa. Like this, Yitzchak would think that he understood that Hashem is the true owner of the world, and therefore Avram is not considered to be a thief of the land, and consequently, he was worthy to inherit Yisrael and not Yaakov. This answers the first question of why our right to stay in the land is tied to observance of the mitzvah of giving meiser. However, why does it cause that Esav harasses us? The Ramban explains that the land in the bracha that Yitzchak blessed Yaakov, v'yiten locha Elokim mital shamayim u'mishmani oretz, and that Hashem will give you from the dew of the heaven and from the fat of the land, is referring to Eretz Yisrael. And through this bracha, Yaakov received the rights to Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Shimshon explains the reason that Yitzchak did not bless Esav with Eretz Yisrael is because it is written in Mishlei, an honest man receives many brachas. Chazal teach us that Esav was dishonest and was willing to steal from others to bring food to Yitzchak in order to be blessed. This shows he wasn't honest, and therefore he wasn't worthy, because only an honest man receives many brachas, and not a dishonest man. Therefore, Zera Shimshon, if a person doesn't give ma'aseh, and as we said before, this makes him into a thief and someone who is dishonest, Esav says, why is he any better than me? So why should I lose my right to the land? And therefore, Esav harasses us. Another reason why specifically Esav is the one who harasses Klal Yisrael is because he's the one who Hashem always sends to punish us. As it is written, and when you, Esav, will feel pain that you lost the brachas, you will throw off the yoke of Yaakov. Thank you for listening. And in the merit of your learning, the Divrei Torah of Zera Shimshon, Hashem should honor the promise the Zera Shimshon made for people who learn his Torah. Your eyes will see children and grandchildren like the offshoots of an olive tree around your tables, wise and understanding, with houses filled with all manner of good things and wealth and honor.